So we will continue with our first case study, and we will start with promo video that we made in cooperation with principal of Grammar School Jovan Jovanović Zmaj with Mr. Radivoje Stojković.
We are now at the grammar school, Jovan Jovanović Zmaj, from Novi Sad, and from the low-rise building of the Serbian Orthodox Primary School in 1703, in the churchyard of the Orthodox Cathedral of St. George, to the monumental one-story building of the grammar school, the great Serbian Orthodox Grammar School from 1900, which more than 3 centuries have passed, and we have interred in the fort. From the Petrovaradin Latin Slavic Grammar School of Our Lady in 1731 to today's grammar school Jovan Jovanović Zmaj, the school has changed names 12 times. In Zlatna Greda Street, in Serbian Athens, the continuity of education, civic and religious, has existed throughout 4 centuries, which makes this grammar school unique on the territory of the entire country of Serbia. If it had not been for the grammar school in Novi Sad, Matica Srpska would not have moved from Budapest to Novi Sad in 1864. If Matica had not moved, the University of Novi Sad would not have been founded. If the university had not been founded, there would be neither educated people nor rapid urban, cultural, political, and economic development of the town. 49 academicians, 12 Orthodox bishops, 3 metropolitans, and 3 heads of the Serbian Orthodox Church, as well as other prominent figures in the field of science, humanities, sports, political world, and diplomacy have come from this oldest grammar school in Novi Sad. In the great Serbian Orthodox Grammar School in Novi Sad, the first Serbian final exam was held in 1867 and 1868. During the bombardment of Novi Sad from Petrovaradin Fortress on 12 June 1849, the grammar school building and the entire environment burned down. The school has passed through and survived all the revolutions, world wars, crises and attacks in the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, as well as in Yugoslavia during the Karađorđević monarchy and under Tito's communist rule. Despite all the destruction, temptations, and property confiscations, the grammar school was the light of Serbian classical education that balanced, sometimes less, sometimes more, between preserving Serbian language and alphabet, Orthodox faith and Serbian Slavic roots, and its civil, European, cultural, scientific, and political identities. It succeeds in this with the help of wise, educated, and people prone to diplomatic solutions Serbian Orthodox archbishops, patrons, principals, teachers, city fathers, and Serbian benefactors, major and minor donors, remaining recognizable not only on the educational and cultural map of Novi Sad, Vojvodina, Serbia, and entire Serbian nation, but also on the map of the Europe and around the world, which used to be and still is open to all the students of this grammar school. Today, the Jovan Jovanović Grammar School is home for the following classes for gifted individuals: the natural and mathematical science streams, the social linguistic science stream, programs for classes for students with special abilities for mathematics, programs for classes for students with special abilities for computer science and informatics, program for classes for students with special abilities for physics, programs for classes for students with special abilities in sports, bilingual classes based on the natural and mathematical science stream, Russian, German, French, and English language, the 7th and 8th grade program for primary school students attended in the grammar school for students with special abilities for maths, informatics, and physics. The students of the grammar school consistently achieve excellent results on national and international competitions in mathematics, physics, and computer science, as well as in other subjects. Among the most clubs in the school, we have the school orchestra and the school choir. They have consistently for many years won first place and gold medals on every national and international gathering and competition they attended. We have the Readers Club, the Calligraphy Club, the Drama Clubs in Serbian, Russian, French, and German, the Philosophy Club, the Chess Club, the Rhetoric and Oration Club, the Russian Culture Club, the Biology Club, the Chemistry Club, the Art and Sport Club, the Audio-Video Club, the Robotics Club, the Applied Physics and Electronics Club, and the school paper. At the Mathematical Physics and Computer Science programs, part of the program, namely the focused subject for the classes, is carried out by professors from the University of Novi Sad. Within the specialized sports class, we have students that have already started a serious professional career, and some of our students attend the music or ballet school in tandem with their classes in the grammar school. The grammar school has a long-standing collaboration with the Goethe Institute, the French Cultural Center, the Lobachevsky State University in Nizhny Novgorod from Russia, and the International Children's Camp Artek from Crimea. The grammar school is also home the Russian Cultural Center of the Ruski Mir Foundation. The students also enjoy a regular exchange program with Germany, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Switzerland, Romania, and Belarus, with states ranging for 1 to 3 weeks. We have a cooperative relationship with the French region of Franche-Comté, where our students go for up to a year. We are also involved in the FLEX program that our students go to the United States of America and experience a school year there.
We can continue. That was the principal of Grammar School Jovan Jovanović Zmaj, Mr. Radivoje Stojković, who is almost 20 years principal in grammar school. And as we saw, he's really love his job, also students. And now I hope that you enjoy in video too. And now we will continue. The next speaker will be Svetlana Brzev. She will introduce us with experts analysis of buildings, grammar school, Jovan Jovanović Zmaj. Svetlana.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well. So I will continue, and discussion in this part, in this presentation, we'll have a few topics. First, a little bit of background, but complementing the information that you already gained. Building descriptions, assessment, and conceptual seismic retrofitting solutions or seismic interventions for this school. So it is, you learn more about technical aspects of the school. So background, this school, as you saw already, several, this is one of the facades, maybe just as good to see it once again. This is a courtyard facade. So the building has a very nice courtyard. We visited it on a few weeks ago, and this is the St. George's Cathedral. So you can see it's facing it. If you continue, then there is a, we would continue with the video, we would see the Republic Square. So, so this is, we had access to all the drawings, original drawings actually. This is the same facade, just a drawing of the facade. This is a photo. So I will say a little bit more about facades. Is first just a visual experience. So the building is a cultural monument of great significance. Oh, I have a typo here, for the city of Novi Sad, there is a catalog of historic monuments of historic cultural significance. And this is, each one is covered by one page. So this is one of the top monuments, as you heard in the previous presentations. Anyways, I wanted to emphasize that. Looking at the square, as you already heard from Olga, and you saw it, it is a location here is the square. If you can see my mouse, and I circled the gym, the grammar school. So on the right hand side, you can see original site plan for the school. You can see the gray shaded plan, and you can see on the left side or below it is the plan of the church. And there is the street is called Zlatne Grede, or golden beams, if you would, to translate literally into English. So just to get a little bit of idea about the building, this is a summary. It is a two-story building with a basement. Overall height to the eaves level is approximately 15 meters. It is a U-shaped building plan with two elongated wings. You can see on the next slide. It's load-bearing masonry structure. Wall thickness ranges from 30 centimeters, that is a minimum for interior walls, to 75 centimeters, 60 or 75 for exterior walls. It is the masonry constructed using solid clay bricks in lime mortar, and it has a very nice terracotta facade, original one. Floor structures are jack arch or pruski svod, as we call it in Serbian, and it has wooden sloped roof structure. So I'll go a little bit over the details. In terms of the plan, dimensional plan shape, I try to simplify it. You can see dimensions pretty large, 70 meters long in this horizontal direction, 45 meters in the vertical direction, or basically longitudinal and transverse in plan, and then 12 meters is the wing width of this wing. Masonry, of course, by looking, you can see the building is beautifully maintained and in impeccable condition. So we had to go to the basement where you always can find some exposed masonry. So these are all bricks from Austro-Hungarian, from time of Austro-Hungarian monarchy, supposed to be strong, but we don't have information. Of course, we didn't do any in situ testing of them. What is characteristic is that the size of the bricks is larger than today. It is they're 30 centimeters long, and that size was used until 1930s approximately. So this is the whole building was made of this type of masonry. If you look at it, so it's weak mortar for sure, but it is it's very robust. This is the other facade. So this is actually entrance. So even though the other side looks like the entrance, it is the courtyard. So this is the entrance. The facade is also old building, old drawing, original drawing, and you can see some details of this facade, it is the original terracotta facade, very well maintained through different restorations. You can see the details of the facade. So certainly no interventions are possible on the outside. The exterior of the building has to be maintained irrespective of any interventions unless the facade is damaged. And there are beautiful ornaments throughout the building. I'm not an architect, I'm a structural engineer, but anyways, all of us can admire these details, and they're very beautifying this building, and it is really has beautiful architectural features. Now, going back to the structural aspects or construction aspects, this is the plan of the basement, original plan, and you can see different rooms. I think originally the rooms, some people were living in these rooms. Right now, they're actually classrooms when it was originally built. So this is the one of the classrooms. This is the type of floor structure. So it is a jack arch floor. The spacing of these iron elements is 1.2 meters. And if you look carefully on the plan, they are also shown on the plan. You can see these red lines. So red lines on the plan are showing the spacing of these locations of these sections. And you can see entrance, interior of one of the classrooms. In fact, let me go back. So there is this classroom. This classroom is shown on the photo. So where it is. So these two lines are corresponding to the photo. And you can see very small windows because it's a basement level. The walls are 75 centimeter thick exterior walls, so it's pretty robust. The ground floor level is similar. Of course, the shape is the same, but of course now here it was originally planned to be the classroom. So there is entrance there is entrance staircases, as I said, from the courtyard size, but there is a staircase to the upper level. So I will walk you through, I identified few locations which are of interest since this is virtual tour. One, this blue location is showing the classroom. So this is interior of a typical classroom. There are quite a few classrooms in each room is a classroom here at this level. And then this area is a corridor area. So you can see how a corridor looks like. You could see in the video as well. They're well-maintained corridors with wooden facings here. And then the third one is the staircase, which takes us to the upper floor, which we call first floor. This is the staircase, and as I said, it has then two other parts on the upper level, but this is a mezzanine level here. So ground floor and mezzanine level. So so the first floor level is similar, except that now in a sense of and maybe this is a good place to show the first, before I'm talking about the special rooms, to talk about walls. So the partition walls are the thinnest walls, are partition walls, which are about 30 centimeters. Actually, these are not the walls. These are the walls 30 centimeters thick. Then the next ones would be 45 centimeters thick, and then the exterior ones would be 60 centimeters thick at the above ground level. So basement only is 75, and they're all of solid masonry. So at this level, at the first floor level, there is difference between the, there are two special, I would say, rooms or halls, premises. One is ceremonial hall, which is shown, sorry. Okay, first gymnasium. Okay, let's go here. This is gymnasium here in this wing. Gymnasium right now it's showing the, it is showing the like a desks, because they have now exams because of COVID. They hold them in the gymnasium because to address the spacing issues or distancing, social distancing. And then the next room is ceremonial hall, which is actually very nicely located just as you come up the first floor. That is the first room you see, and that is for special occasions. You could see it in the video. And here are the photographs of the ceremonial hall. Here is a small video which we took during the visit of the ceremonial hall, so you can see a little bit interior of that hall with ornaments, and with the director talking to us. So you can see a little bit with the paintings. So it is for special occasions, for graduation and maybe celebration of some festivals. And this is a photograph of the interior of the hall. I will discuss that a little bit later. The height of that hall is about 5 meters story height in that location. So let's move on. So it is exterior wall. This is actually facade view of this hall, and it actually and then from the inside. So this is one of the typical windows. The same window from the inside, so you can see outside view and inside view, and with the ornaments. So there are 3 windows along this hall, on the facade, and both inside and outside. The next level is a roof structure. Roof structure is a wooden structure. It is sloped, and it is, you can see a plan view and how the wooden elements are spanning. There are some trusses, of course, and you will see some details of the photographs of the wooden structure as it is. And here it is some kind of a dome on the dome form element, but the rest is a regular roof. So in interior, one of the rooms has exposed ceiling. So basically it does not have ceiling. That is the attic level. And there you could see the details of wooden elements. You can see that there is no fasteners. So it is all tongue and groove or other types of good old style connections in a very good, very well maintained condition. So these are the details of the roof structure, and these are again all drawings showing a section, a vertical section detail at the roof level, and showing also detail of the floor system which we used. And you can see here the thickness of the wall at the top level is 60 centimeters. So it's really nice, nice quality of all the drawings which are available in the archive. And with courtesy of RDA Bačka, we got access to them. So this is a vertical section at one of the wings, and you can see that actually the narrow, the main part, I would say, and you can see this was before the extension, the original as it looks like. And I will show you after there was vertical extension on top of this level, and I will show you a project of the extension. It's worth mentioning that the building was renovated several times, among others in 84, 85, 2003, and 2005, and 2006. And clearly it is also maintained regularly based on the condition that we could see. There was really no any visible signs of any damage or cracking. So this same section after the with the extension looks like this. So you can see how architects planned and engineers planned the extension. So you can see that this is now attic, which is used as some kind of a library and the Russian center. So it was extended on top of the existing building, just at one part. And I will show you a plan of that extension as well. So this is elevation, and you can see truss, wooden truss, so they maintain the same type of roof structure. This is a plan of one of the renovated sections. So these are not huge areas that are renovated, so it's just localized at a certain part of the building, not entire floor, not entire building has one more floor. So that is about the building. So the building, now I want to talk about, I would like to talk about seismic assessment. So what do we see there as a potential? Again, it is all hypothetical, obviously. We did not do any analysis of the building or actual assessment of the building doing analysis. So this is what, based on our experience, we could say that it's a potentially concern or vulnerability. So first of all, I would like to mention about assessment process in Serbia and which would be followed in case of a building like this. So there are detailed seismic assessment or evaluation procedures according to the current codes since 2019, and actually, even though it's 2019 on the paper, I think it's just beginning in 2021 to use Eurocode. Of course, part 1 for the new buildings and part 3 for existing buildings. So both aspects parts would be used if this were to be done today or some assessment, and all procedures that are part of Eurocode 8 would be applicable here. Before 2019, we used codes from the former Yugoslavia as described in different various Adriseismic documents. The latest code was from 1981, and then there was a 1985 code for rehabilitation of structures. So 1981 was seismic code. It is similar to Eurocode 8 part 1, and then Eurocode 8 part 3 was the code from 1985. But anyways, we have to consider what would be done today or in future. So, and there were no official methods for rapid or expeditious seismic assessment approach in Serbia, neither research nor I would say officially endorsed by the government or public sized. In terms of the process of assessment, I really liked one of the charts that was included in Adriseismic document. It is WPT2. It is actually coming from Croatia. It's in part on Croatia, which nicely identifies what would be done in the process of assessment, identifying construction, assessing the building, field assessment, in this case, consideration of heritage, and then building evaluation, identifying weak points. I'll be talking about that in this. And then initial resistance assessment that would be done with a detailed analysis, with the modeling analysis of a building for the requirements of the current codes. And very important part, which I think contributes particularly in case of masonry buildings, but reinforced concrete buildings too, is material testing, which would be done and would give input to this initial resistance assessment. Otherwise, we are just guessing what are the properties. So this would be necessary part there. And then selection of the solution. After this, first of all, whether retrofit seismic interventions are needed or not, and then which technologies are used, and cost evaluation would be there. And in addition, in this part, it would be heritage considerations where this can be applied. It cannot be done outside. It means only interior applications are possible. And then final assessment would be with the retrofitted with the interventions. So it is modified model and analysis to confirm the validity of the analysis and the validity of the efficiency of the model of the solution. And then a final decision would be made based on the cost and all the other considerations. So anyways, I think it is a nice chart. I want to talk a little bit, would like to talk a little, we highlighted here the walls that are existing and could be considered in this direction. Not all of them may need to be retrofitted, but potentially these walls, and also they're not highlighted here, the walls around the staircase would probably need some, potentially need some retrofit, they're not shown. So that would be a wall retrofit requirements or potentially needs, but again, depending on what the analysis would show. So the other direction is X direction or horizontal direction. I mean, both are horizontal, but here it was horizontal, where we would have this main part of the building, and that one would mostly resist the seismic effects. The others would be exposed to seismic effects, but they're not except for these exterior walls. They're all partition walls, which are a bit thinner and would not be contributed to seismic resistance. So the question is, which walls would need to be retrofitted? It could be that these exterior walls, which are not shown here at the outside the gymnasium, and also this other wing would be, but we highlighted here some walls which are solid, interior walls, which are solid and they may not need to be retrofitted. The exterior walls or these piers would potentially could need retrofit because they could experience theoretically the same type of damage as the school building in Montenegro. And the same appears to the walls on the other side of this main building. So it is difficult to say. I would say we're all talking hypothetically here. So that leaves those walls. And as I said, we could have highlighted also the walls and in the same direction on at the end of these two wings potentially. In terms of seismic intervention techniques for masonry walls, as you know, and you all contributed to that, there is a document which was recently released, and section 7.4 on Serbia covers the various techniques for seismic interventions which are used in Serbia and of course other countries, but with special focus on Serbia. So the techniques that we would likely be used if we were to retrofit this building are for the walls, reinforced concrete solutions. As you could see in Serbia from the previous examples, reinforced concrete solutions are popular, traditional. For example, jacketing using reinforced concrete plaster and steel wire mesh. I'll show you on the next slide. Its Adriseismic classification is D8. It is a traditional solution commonly used in Serbia. Engineers and contractors are familiar with it. They used it for some structural rehabilitation, not necessarily seismic. It was also widely used for repairing the buildings and restoring after the 2010 Kraljevo earthquake. It is relatively low cost compared to other more innovative solutions. So that is positive, but it is invasive and time-consuming approach. So for a school, it would be really, the time is precious, and school would have to be vacated during this action. So a solution that can be implemented more rapidly would be really, I would say, preferred, unless it comes at a really high price. So this is a solution D8 in the table in the Adriseismic document. And the other solution is fiber solution, and that is use of composite materials, fiber wraps, and it is innovative solution. It is limited in use in Serbia, so at this moment, but applications are increasing. It has been used for heritage structures in Serbia, for example, churches, monasteries, for example, after 2010 Kraljevo earthquake, and can be constructed within a short time. And so these are all positive things. Negative or a little bit of drawbacks or constraints are that this application requires advanced skills for successful implementation, and it is more expensive than traditional solutions. So this is C1 and Adriseismic. And so let us see how it would look like on a typical classroom. This is a pier from inside, this is a pier from the outside. Of course, solution would be from the inside. This would be one of the solutions. If we are only concerned about shear, then resistance, then we would cover the entire pier and also above and below it. And this would be this reinforced plaster solution with, let's say, 5 or more centimeters of, it could be done with shotcrete as well, with wire mesh and with anchors, which need to be embedded into the masonry from inside, obviously. And so that's why it is invasive. The surface would need to be cleaned and prepared for this. So that is the first solution. The second solution could be in different forms. It could be the entire surface could be covered with this fiber wrap, or it could be a strips, horizontal and vertical strips, depending on what it is. Or there also some companies have diagonal strips as well. I'm talking here about more like a fabric type of application, but there are also carbon strips which are more stiff and could be used as well. So anyways, these are two potential solutions that could be used for any of these potentially vulnerable walls. And same seismic intervention techniques would be used for in-plane and out-of-plane seismic for resolving issues and concerns with safety for in-plane and out-of-plane seismic safety. And the other concern is, as I mentioned, with the ceremonial hall and also gymnasium, very tall walls, so that they're more than 5 meter floor height, and they're also thin. So this is a plan view of the ceremonial hall. You can see 30 centimeter walls are around it. On the left and right hand side, this ceremonial hall, and on the sides are classrooms. So retrofit could be done from the classroom side or from the outside of the ceremonial hall here on this side in the corridor. So the solutions would be the same, and the height, as I said, is this is the wall that I'm showing. So the wall in elevation is the wall here. So you can see that it definitely nothing can be done from the inside the hall. And but just to get the sense of the wall, and the height, as I said, is above 5 meters. I don't have exact number, but more than 5 meters. So same intervention would be needed for the gymnasium for the out-of-plane seismic effects. And retrofit to the first floor level. Also, this is the last actually slide, practically, is what to do with the floor slabs. If this is a jack arch floor, as you can see on the right, and this is, let's say, for this, let's say, even if we do partial, probably wouldn't be partial retrofit, it would be more than partial. But here we have 13 meters span in one direction, a 10 meter in the other direction, and it is all this jack arch. So it's pretty large space. So if we were to, let's say, retrofit this portion of the floor, what could be done traditionally in Serbia is using the stiffening with thin reinforced concrete slab with, of course, reinforcement. And this is classified as Adriseismic D4 for the floor retrofit. So this is one solution. The other solution that could be considered is use of, again, fiber materials for retrofit that would be more expensive, particularly if the entire floor would need to be, it's a large plan area of the building. This is just showing a sample of a potential solution for the floors. Strengthening of the foundation, yeah, no, this is the last one. So this is a vertical section of the building and showing the foundation part or the bottom of the walls. So we don't have details of the actual foundations. So we assume that the wall has just continued underneath the ground. There is no special foundation, so it's same brick masonry. And what would we do? Of course, the building has a basement, as I mentioned, so it will be possible to construct with some excavation, obviously construct new RC beams attached to the existing foundation. This is D12 solution under foundation solution or some alternative solution. This is an example how it could be done. Of course, there will be lots of excavation to do that, but if it is needed here, this is not appropriate. Drawing shows concrete, but maybe also it could be needed to build some concrete that would be even more expensive underneath the masonry. But let's say if we keep the existing masonry and just build concrete beams and connect them to the masonry. So that would be all. Closing remarks are, you could see this building, got some idea about the properties of construction features typical for that period. Got the idea of the what would be the concerns in our opinion based on, as I said, large big picture assessment, and then what could be the solutions for retrofitting if there would be need and there would be opportunity and funding. So that is all about this. I hope I've not gone over time, but in any case, it could be longer. Could talk much longer about this topic. So thank you very much.